table. Collect our money. Oh,
Any
there's so
word?
much to do.
Nothing yet.
Let's see what's up for my man, Dorian. Now that you're in charge, there's something I thought I'd bring up. There are Venatori mages out there lurking in the wilderness. This comes as no surprise to you, since you can't swing a dead cat without one of Corypheus's minions, without hitting one of Corypheus's minions, but this particular Venatori have additional significance to myself. For one, I know them personally. I would call them friends, except that would imply I didn't want them dead, which I do. Since I have no idea of where they might be, thanks to an investigation I began before coming south, I thought we could put our heads together and track them down. At which point they would sneer something at you and to Vinter, and you would be forced to kill them, which makes everyone happy. You for eliminating a potential threat, me for eliminating men and women too stupid and short-sighted to be permitted continued breath. They would be less happy, but who cares about them? Up to you,
Have they
my
found
lady
anyone
Inquisitor,
alive?
Dorian.
Excavation is slow, as you can imagine.
Let's see. Let's look into this carefully and quietly. We do not wish to alert the Venatori to our awareness of their existence. Former Templar skilled at hunting mages can send them to follow Dorian's leads. There are Venatori out there. They'll show their faces as someone has seen them, and coins. Listen, let's sick our Templars on them.
To work?
Because I would assume Tevinter mages would be quite unused to full-blown Templars. And it keeps them maybe off our mages. Power for price. Formal document with impeccable filigree. It is time. The Inquisitor commands a small kingdom. It is time to exercise the weight of her influence. There remain uninvolved and uncommitted lords and ladies, bands and arls. Where they could not be engaged with plight or passion, they can be compelled through mercenary means, but there must be a display. Make it known that the Inquisition has weight, and the boons and the dispensation of the powerful will be open to you. Thereafter, she need not curry influence. She can simply buy it. This is for monies. Money? Is it for money? It seems to be. Do not display. We will show your reach by simply being where it is most beneficial. Grand March. Meh. A fete of your own to display the allied and powerful.
Let's see what we have.
Yes, I think I rather like that approach. Nope. Would not trouble you normally. You have enough on your shoulders, fighting ancient Tevinter magisters while representing your people. Unfortunately, the rifts that plague this land have spread chaos and fear along with them, and many seek to take advantage of it. Bandits are attacking Clan Levelin. The raiders are well armed and heavily armored, and they come in numbers our hunters cannot match. We had settled in a small unclaimed valley not far from Wycombe, a safe place with few rifts, but these bandits may force us to seek a new home. If your Inquisition can help, you might save our clan much hardship. Darashral, Keeper, oh my goodness, Istamithoriel, Levelin. Well. No simple bandits would attack a Dalish camp with such force. My troops can give the Dalish much needed support. I'm kind of thinking that option, but let's see. They seem too powerful to be mere bandits. My skirmishers can harass their flanks and give the Dalish a chance to retreat safely while I uncover the truth. Kind of like that too. The Duke of Wycombe is an Inquisition ally. It is odd for him to let bandits so close to a city. Perhaps he could help the Dalish. I think I may come back and either do... I'm leaning towards the Leliana quest, so we'll come back when she's free. And hopefully I remember. Search for the Hack Rider. I like this series for Varric. And I usually use Leliana for this one because it's, you know, it just seems so appropriate. Oh, acquire the Arcanist. We're definitely doing that. Skyhold has incredible potential for rune crafting and mastercraft smithing, if only we had a gifted mind to gain full benefit. The War and the Venatori have claimed many experts, but we have located an Arcanist with great skill and a reputation for humbling first enchanters in both Andrastian and Imperial circles. 2 assassination attempts and at least one explosion have made landholders reluctant to allow her passage through their territory. It will take significant effort to bring her from Tantervale, but this arcanist would be valuable to the Inquisition. So excited! Alliance can overcome any concern. The owners of where she will travel need only be convinced of the worth of pleasing us. Yes. Make it so, number 1. Yay! So she's been secured despite great cost and the concern of more than a few traditional-minded mages. She waits a meeting with the Inquisitor in the Undercroft, so I guess we're headed back to the Undercroft, and I think that means that Josephine is still free. Oh, that sounds like something she can do. The Inquisitor, the allied merchants of the monarchy of Antiva have inquired whether they can assist us in any fashion. They could provide us with some of the finest goods in Thedas, a powerful boost to our prestige, and spread our influence north. The merchant princes will also attempt to ensnare us in contracts so convoluted that we will be eternally tied to them. If we are interested, we must send our most skilled negotiators. Our diplomats are well respected, and I feel we can come out ahead of the bargain if we are prepared to commit to it. Ambassador Montpellier. And definitely...
At your service.
Alright. Let's just see... Follow my resources, Hinterland resources, conscript for the Inquisition, Shadows over Denerim. Whoops. To select it. Let's just go back. Come on. Back. Exalted Plains, Emprise de Lyon, and Emerald Graves. Truth or Dare, Dangerous Game, and the Serpent of Navarra. Investigate Hunter Fell. And this is Stop Venatory Activity in the West. Oops, maybe that. No, okay. Let us carry on for now. And it looks like we're headed back to the Undercroft. Actually, we'll go back there in a minute. Let's open all the damn doors to get out of here. Is it dark in here, or is it just me? We're not going that way. Oh, there we go. A well-lit room. We all like that.
What was this place? So much room for whatever was here.
That is a good point. The rotunda and the fresco. Sister Liliana, as per your request, I have made a thorough examination of the fresco adorning the rotunda. I first attempted to clarify its intent with Messer Solas. Forgive me, I know he is not titled within the structure of the Inquisition, but the more I learn of his experience, the more awkward I feel not using a formal honorific. On the mural, all Messer would say is, Skyhold is her fortress, meaning, of course, the Inquisitor. These are her actions. He is, of course, correct. The subject of each edition is self-evident. On the medium and method, it is elven fresco, pigment and plaster, and it is grand. I have rarely been privileged to observe such skill as it is applied. It is considered with long periods of study before the image emerges, whole cloth and with certainty. It speaks of how I imagine elves view the world and the measured nature of their step. I would expect such competence from Messer, given his probable years of study, but it is still an amazing work, demonstrating an art with few living practitioners, even among the Dalish. Archivist Bannon. Oops, one more. Request for resources on the Fade. Regarding your request, as a noted partner of the Inquisition, Lady Montpellier has ensured our contacts are quick to reply. The few titles on hand accompany this letter, with the remaining en route from libraries in Valroyo and surrounding. Archivist Bannon. Fade and Spirit Mysterious by Brother Ferdinand Genetivi. The Enchanter's Observations by Anonymous. The Unholy Grace, author unknown. On Silver Chords by First Enchanter Irving. Wisdom Failed, The Hedge Mage, collected by First Enchanter Heron. Translations of the Elelan, Elilon excavation collected by Brother Ferdinand Genetibi. To Winter Journeys inward by Archon Vias. Our Orlesian Heart by formerly Sister Laudine. Speaking to the Other, a translation by Lady Guine. On Lyrium, a Templar's memoir by Sir Treos. Dalish Myth and Collected Truths Against, collected by Sister Petrine. Elevan dis Falsis, Triu Method Dracas, untranslated, author unknown. There are 2 more pages of titles listed beneath.
Lethalan.
Well, hello, darling.
I'd like to know more about you, Solas.
All right. What can I tell you?
What made you start studying the Fade?
I think we've already been
I grew
here.
up in a village to the north.
We have.
There was little, but as I slept, spirits of the Fade showed me glimpses of wonders I had never imagined. I treasured my dreams. Being awake, out of the Fade, became troublesome.
We'll talk later.
Goodbye.
Now
Good
come
afternoon.
here. There we go.
I need to know more about Corypheus.
We spoke of this on our travels to Skyhold. What more can I tell you? Cassandra and Varric seem more familiar with their adversary.
You've given me good counsel before. I could use some now.
My apologies, Inquisitor. My poor manners shame me. I claim
As they
no
should.
secret wisdom, but I will guess as best I can.
I would like to know more about the orb he carries.
As I said, that must be the means by which he created the breach. I suspect the blast that destroyed the Conclave was more accident than anything. The result of unlocking power that had sought release for ages. What I cannot understand is how he managed to survive such an explosion.
You said that you believed the orb is elven.
I never would have believed a Divinta mage could unlock such a powerful relic. It clearly enhances his abilities. Giving him access to power I should never have known.
Like the power to control the Archdemon.
Indirectly, one assumes. Nothing in any law connects my people to the old god dragons who became archdemons.
What can you tell me about the source of Corypheus's power?
According to the law, the ancient Magistars of Divinta received guidance from the old gods. Corypheus commands a false archdemon, a corrupted old god. This suggests he no longer sees himself as their minion. Some of his unique power comes from the corruption of the Blight. The rest may come from the orb he carries.
What do you think Corypheus will do next?
You shamed him when you destroyed Haven. Spoiled his glorious victory.
Neener,
It would be
neener,
worse to
neener.
acknowledge that you had done so. He must continue on his course or show weakness. He will return to his plans to throw Olay into chaos, and then conquer it for Divinta.
You're sure that's what he'll do?
As certain as is possible. Assuming I can plausibly predict a man who seeks to rise to godhood.
And can you?
The key is understanding this. No real god need prove himself. Anyone who tries is mad or lying. This deception will undo him, as it has done countless fools before.
Oh, Solas. I don't think you listen to yourself.
We'll talk later.
Goodbye.
We'll hold off on Dorian just a sec. Oh, Fiona. Gosh.
Greetings, Inquisitor. That is your title now, yes? I should thank you. The way things ended in Redcliffe, you could have demanded anything you wished. Yet you chose to make us equal partners. I was not expecting that.
You're not.
You rebelled for good reason.
I knew you, of all people, would understand. Huh. I've been a Grey Warden, Grand Enchanter, leader of a rebellion, and now I am none of those things. Odd where fate takes you, as you're no doubt well aware.
You were once a Grey Warden.
Mine is an unusual circumstance, Inquisitor. Normally one is part of the Order until death. But long ago I found myself stripped of what made me a Warden. They tried to reinitiate me, but nothing worked. nor could they figure out how it happened. So I was sent to the Circle of Magi, the first warden ever to be kicked out. Quite the achievement.
You sound happy about it.
Becoming a warden seemed like a dream when I was first conscripted. Towards the end, however, my brothers and sisters, they felt I had somehow cheated death. I was glad to leave. It also made me unique in the Circle. I had an opportunity to do more than I ever could as a warden.
You would think that having a warden who suddenly was stripped of the taint, that they would have kept her on at all costs to find out how that happened, even if they just either had to retrace her steps or, you know, study her somehow so that they could then attempt to apply that to aging wardens who were experiencing the calling. So, you know, it's funny to me that the storyline goes that she was then, you know, she left the wardens. You know, but then again, if she doesn't know how it happened, if you've read the books, I have a theory about that. I mean, I think it points back to the wellspring in the deep roads that she came up against, but or that she drank from. But still, I just don't see them letting her go. I just don't see it. But you know, that's my opinion.
You mean you began the Mage Rebellion?
I pushed for our vote to free the Circles of Magi, but I cannot claim sole responsibility for what followed. Still, despite all the chaos, I would do it again. What happened had to happen.
It certainly was a festering boil, wasn't it?
You're not still the Grand Enchanter then?
Any claim I had to the title ended along with the Circles of Magi, although some still call me by it. Perhaps the Circles will one day be resurrected. If so, another will take the position. Until that time, I lead my fellow mages by default. I will do what I can for them.
I've been meaning to ask, how exactly did the Venatori take control in Redcliffe?
Mages constantly found their way to us while we were there. Stragglers, most of them strangers. I had no way of knowing some were actually Tevinter. They spread whispers, encouraged talk of an alliance, and we were desperate. I'm not proud of our choice, but we were certain Templars were coming. It could have ended far worse.
I trust everything is well with the mages.
Most are pleased with the alliance, even if we wonder what will happen next.
I'll leave you to it.
I think we all wonder what happens next. The Folly of General Not Sheraton. 4. And so it was that victory was absolute, and cheers were raised for General Not Sheraton. And so, buoyed by respect and admiration, Not Sheraton stood proud and removed the mask to state her true name. For had they not accepted her, had they not thrived by her leadership, had they not become comrades despite station and masks and nonsense of protocol? And the answer was swift and bewildering, for they had not, and swiftly she was bundled away amid calls of impostor and spy, and other terms she could not know, for she still did not know Orlais. Whoopsie. Oh, Helisma.
Greetings to you, Inquisitor. I am to serve as assistant to any research concerns. You'll find my skills are exceptional. I hope they prove useful.
You're taking over the duties of Maeve?
Yes. Her death provided the vacancy. I am told there are many who will miss her. My skills will ensure that you do not miss her ability.
How can you serve the Inquisition?
I am to aid in the research of all creatures encountered in your efforts as leader of the Inquisition.
What makes you particularly qualified?
I remember being fond of animals. I don't remember why.
What is your evaluation of how we're doing?
Not optimal given the facilities. Skyhold should be improved, or our efforts will continue to suffer.
You were made tranquil.
Yes, I am tranquil. It was necessary due to a willful nature that made wielding magic a dangerous endeavor. I remember that being a difficult time, but I cannot remember why. My skills are well used in my current position.
As you were.
Yes, Inquisitor.
Oh, baby. Aha! There we go. I knew I had collected a few things. Apparently, just a few. Dorian!
Brilliant, isn't it?
Yes, I am. Huh?
One moment you're trying to restore order in a world gone mad. That should be enough for anyone to handle, yes? Then, out of nowhere, an archdemon appears and kicks you in the head. What? You thought this would be easy? No, I was just hoping you wouldn't crush our village like an anthill. Sorry about that. Archdemons like to crush, you know. Can't be helped. Am I speaking too quickly for you?
I was distracted. That's all.
Distracted? By my wit and charm? I have plenty of both.
Today, at least.
Oh, you wound me. I always assumed the Elder One behind the Venatori was a Magister. But this is something else completely. In Tevinter, they say the Chantry's tales of Magisters starting the Blight are just that. Tales. But here we are. One of those very Magisters. A dark spawn.
Who does the Imperium say started the Blight?
You know how it is. Not us. They say Darkspawn were always there. Magisters and the Blight aren't even related. Is that a surprise? No one wants to admit they shit the bed. But if Corypheus is one of the Magisters who entered the Black City and he's Darkspawn, what other explanation is there?
We only know what Corypheus claims to be.
True. He might be a convincing liar, or delusional, or insane. But how many delusional maniacs are going to have that knowledge? He broke open the Fade. I knew what I was taught couldn't be the whole truth, but I assumed there had to be a kernel of it, somewhere. But no. It was us all along. We destroyed the world.
Last I checked, the Blights hadn't actually destroyed the world.
Not for lack of trying. If they were more clever, they'd have unleashed something that would really do the job. No one will thank me whatever happens. No one will thank you either. You know that, yes?
That's not why I'm doing this.
I knew there was something clever about you. All I know is this. Corypheus needs to be stopped. Men like him ruined my homeland. I won't stand by and let him ruin the world.
Good for you.
Oh, and congratulations on that whole leading the Inquisition thing, by the way.
Anything interesting?
A letter regarding Felix, Alexius's son. He went to the Magisterium, stood on the Senate floor and told them of you. A glowing testimonial, I'm informed. No news on the reaction, but everyone back home is talking. Felix always was as good as his word.
Was?
He's dead.
Aww.
The Blight caught up with him.
Are you alright?
He was ill, and thus on borrowed time anyhow.
That doesn't mean you can't regret his death.
I know. Felix used to sneak me treats from the kitchens when I was working late in his father's study. Don't get into trouble on my behalf, I tell him. I like trouble, he'd say. Tevinter could use more mages like him. Those who put the good of others above themselves.
You make it sound like he was a better person than you.
What a mad thing to say. Few people are better than I. Very well, a better person, clearly, not nearly as handsome. Thankfully, Felix wasn't the only decent sort kicking around Thedas.
Aw.
Questions, questions.
I'd like to ask you about Tevinter.
Popular topic. Anything specific?
Corypheus is a figure out of Tevinter history. He was a magister.
Yes, but that was a different time. The Imperium's power was at its peak then. The Civil War had ended. The Magisterium was united, its armies scooping up bits of Thedas like candy. The Magisters who entered the Black City. It was a demonstration of how exceptional Tevinter had become.
But who were they?
No one knows. There's no record of a Magister named Corypheus. All this happened 1400 years ago, before the Blight nearly wiped us out. There are no records. Today, people half believe it's all just a story. That's what I believed.
We have evidence the story is very much real.
But not who Corypheus is. If he even remembers. There used to be families who claimed some of those Magisters as their own. That stopped when the Chantry appeared. Then it was shameful, and the families distanced themselves from the tale. All we know is that some men and women entered the Black City looking for the old gods. What did they find? According to Corypheus, nothing. And only he could tell us more.
That's all I wanted to know.
Fair enough.
You said Alexius was a mentor of yours.
He was my patron, sponsoring me to the higher levels of the Circle of Magi. In return, my successes were his. I had a lot of successes, naturally. Alexius was most pleased. He and I used to talk over brandy about the corruption, how we could one day make real change in the Imperium. And then he gave up. He stopped trying.
Went round the friggin' pipe.
Why did he give up?
On a journey to Hosburg, a Darkspawn raid killed his wife and sickened his son. I remember hearing the news. He hadn't been there, you see. Alexius was convinced he could have protected them. The guilt tore him up. I helped him with his research for a while, and then we drifted apart.
Sounds like he wasn't the only one who gave up.
I told him to snap out of it, move on. I thought I had all the answers. Later, I regretted my hasty words. But we didn't speak again until he approached me for the Venatori. Too much pride, I suppose. Plus, I was busy drinking. One must have priorities.
You still went after him?
It's true. What was I thinking? It's so cold down here. At any rate, he's fallen so low, I doubt he'll ever get up. Sad, really.
I should go.
As you wish.
Let's see who else I may pester. I'm gonna read Liliana's letters. On the condition of your charges. Dear Liliana, you'll be happy to learn that your friends are doing well. Schmooples II is still unhappy about his meal plan and tries to get into the pantry. I had to have a bolt installed, and now he whines constantly. The two little ones are still a handful, but good news, I've managed to discourage Boulette from relieving herself on the silk rug Justinia gave you. Oh, happy day. Felicienne, from 2 doors over, has been visiting almost every day to play with the Nugs. She is quite delightful, and Schmooples II is fond of her. I suspect it is because she brings him sweets from her father's shop. I had to ask her governess to keep her from visiting the house, however, as someone tried to infiltrate it 2 nights ago, an agent of one of the Blanchards, hoping to uncover some of the Nightingale's secrets. I neutralized and interrogated him. His ability to withstand questioning was deplorable. Someone needs to talk to the Blanchards about their spies. All I had to do was put Schmooples II in his face and tell him that I hadn't fed the creature that day. Your pet played his part admirably. I received your orders and will depart for Ferelden as soon as possible. I have arranged for Garter to take over Nug keeping. Sparrow. Yeah, so Nugs as a form of torture. Yay!
I'm sorry.
So am I.
the names of those we lost. You must blame me for this.
We all saw who attacked us. We know exactly who to blame.
I keep wondering if I could have done something different. When the first of my lookouts went missing, I pulled the rest back, awaiting more information. If they'd stayed in the field, they could have bought us more time. I was afraid to lose my agents. And instead, we lost Haven.
You will be prepared next time.
I won't let this happen again. My people know their duty. They know the risks. They understand that the Inquisition may call upon them to give their lives.
Our people aren't tools to be used and discarded. Your instincts were right. Their lives matter.
Can we afford such sentimentality? What if Corypheus...
We're better than Corypheus.
Did you need something?
Anything I should know?
It seems that the Orlesian army is awaiting our next move. Some of the generals are sympathetic to our cause, others are still suspicious. Our actions are under a great deal of scrutiny.
The Divine's death hit you hard. How have you been feeling?
Oh, you are referring to my outburst in the Haven. I am much better now. Justinia was such a dear friend, and there were so many things going wrong.
Things going wrong? I'm shocked.
I was there when the hero Ferelden defeated the Archdemon. We won the day, and I thought the Maker smiled on me. When the Divine requested my help, I went to her. I owed her that much. I sacrificed so much to do the Maker's work. But now, Justinia is dead. I was angry. I felt betrayed. But I shouldn't have let my emotions get the better of me. I'm sorry.
Don't apologize. You were grieving and upset. I understand.
Thank you. Now enough of this. Let us think more pleasant thoughts.
I'll leave you to your work.
A fine time to close a border. The news is dire. There are rumors that our Warden brothers and sisters in Ferelden have all perished. Without the Grey Wardens, the Blight will take Ferelden. Then it will undoubtedly spread. It will go north to Navarra and the Marches. It will come west to Orlais. At the head will be an archdemon, and in its wake will come thousands upon thousands of darkspawn. We must be ready to stare squarely into the eyes of oblivion. Many of you have asked why we remain here when such threats are mounting in the east. The problem, you see, is not a new one for us, politics. To say Ferelden and Orlais have been at odds is an understatement. These two are like dogs and cats. We Wardens are Orlesian by address only, but that does not seem to matter to Ferelden's leaders. Word is that the King of Ferelden is dead, and his successor, Loghain MacTyr, decrees that no Warden set foot in the country. MacTyr, a national hero who helped expel invading Orlesian forces from Ferelden, seems to have it in for our order, too. Maybe he doubts our abilities. Maybe he is more foolish than the history books make him out to be. This is why we must wait, even as Ferelden willingly welcomes its fate. An address by Warden Constable Blackwall of Valshavan to his recruits, 930 Dragon. Where am I going? Not that way. We'll go shortcut. Whee! Splat. On that note, we'll go ahead and end this episode here, lest it be very long. We have so much more exploring to do of Skyhold and our next missions and such. So I will say, Auf Wiedersehen. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next episode.